2 years ago, I walked away from my 9 to 5 job. No more meetings, no more deadlines, just complete freedom to live life on my terms. And at first, this was incredible. I traveled, went to amusement parks on the weekdays, and just enjoyed life in a way that most people don't get to at my age. But here's one thing no one tells you. Quitting your job doesn't mean that you figured out life. Now, since retiring at 32, I've had a lot of time to think about money, happiness, and what actually matters when you don't have to work anymore. And looking back, I realized there are things that I wish I knew earlier. Things that would have made my journey easier, my time more meaningful, and my choices even smarter. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 biggest lessons that I've learned after 2 years of early retirement. Lessons that could change the way that you think about financial freedom. The first thing I learned about early retirement is that it's not about having tons of money, buying fancy things, or living some flashy life. It's actually about maximizing your relationships with people you care about. Now sure, I've enjoyed nice dinners and fun experiences, but they don't come close to the happiness that I get from the people that are in my life. For example, seeing my family in Taiwan, meeting Sharon's family in Hong Kong, hanging out with friends in Japan, and being able to catch up with people in LA and the Bay Area made me much happier than being able to afford an exotic sports car. Watching my friends' kids grow and reconnecting with everyone, and even just roasting s'mores with my friends reminded me of what matters the most. Those moments brought me way more happiness than anything else. And it gets even deeper. As we get older, keeping these close connections becomes even tougher. And I've realized that the relationships that I already have are the ones I need to focus on and nurture. And this focus on relationships has made a huge difference in my marriage too. So even though Sharon and I work together on social media and real estate, I always make sure that our bond is always a priority. We spend time going on dates, playing games, and watching shows together, even if some are more her choice than mine. I'd rather be with her than off doing my own thing because that connection means everything. And that's where things truly shifted for me. Looking ahead, I do plan on returning into the Bay Area in the future to be close to family. It's become clear to me that in the end, real happiness is being near the people that I care about. While being able to enjoy close relationships has been meaningful, it's also taught me something else that matters just as much. And the next thing I learned is that time is extremely precious. If you don't manage it well, it can slip away faster than you ever imagined. I've had months go by in what felt like a flash, all because I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing each day. I'd wake up late, stay up half the night, and then spend hours playing video games. Now that sounds fun, right? But here's the thing, that kind of freedom starts to feel empty after a while. Because you could always make more money, but you'll never get back lost time. So that's why I'm glad that we didn't really rush into commitments that would tie us down. So we didn't get any pets or have kids early on. And that decision gave us the freedom to travel whenever we wanted, without feeling restricted by responsibilities. And it was the same with our homes. We chose to buy and live in reasonably priced houses instead of expensive ones with big mortgages. That way, we could easily rent them out and keep them cash flow positive, allowing us to leave whenever we wanted. Not having huge financial obligations was one of the biggest reasons why we were able to retire early in the first place. And this is why you want to make sure that each day brings you closer to something that matters, because otherwise your youth can pass by faster than you think. And looking back, I realized that time is something you just can't afford to waste. But there's also something else I learned along the way, and that is that health is more important than your wealth. So now that I'm in my mid-30s, I'm starting to see a lot of the friends I grew up with starting to have health issues. People are getting a bit heavier. They're experiencing more physical problems, and they're dealing with back, leg, and knee issues. They can't work out or play sports like they used to. So seeing this really made me think, what good is having all this money and wealth if you're not going to be in shape to enjoy it? Many of my friends eat poorly, and they don't go to the gym very often. So I realized that health really is one of the most important things, even above money, because people can have a ton of money, but be in terrible shape. So that leads to a low quality of life. And I've seen people in their early 60s who can barely walk because they didn't take care of themselves when they were younger. So I thought, okay, I do not want this to be me. So for me, going to the gym regularly is a non-negotiable. So even when I'm traveling abroad, I always find a local gym and sign up for a 1 or 2 month membership, because if I don't, it's gonna make me feel really, really bad. Plus, it's still nice to have a 6-pack despite being in my mid-30s. But I'm not stopping there. I know that I still need to work on my diet since I actually do eat a lot of junk food. And so that's a goal that I'm focused on improving. Staying healthy has shown me how much it affects everything else in life. But there's one more surprising lesson that came with my early retirement. More money doesn't actually make you happier. So of course, you do need enough to cover your basic necessities and have some spending money to enjoy yourself occasionally. But after that, earning more money wouldn't actually make me happier, because with my personality, I wouldn't do anything different with it. I would just put that money into my savings or investing account and just let it grow more. So, this actually causes some tension between even my wife and I, because we wonder, what's the point of having all of this money if we're not going to spend it for ourselves in our lifetime? We're in a situation where our money is going to compound and grow, and we're probably going to end up with $50 million by doing nothing for the rest of our lives, just because of how compounding works. And so we ask ourselves big questions about it, like, would leaving a large inheritance help our future kid? Or would it actually make them feel like they don't have to work as hard and make them a lazy person? Would knowing that our kid is a trust fund baby change how our kids treat people? Would they look down on people? We're not sure. So now with money no longer being a top priority for us, I sometimes find it hard to stay motivated to work. I feel financially set. So working just for extra income doesn't get me excited. Now there are days where I'll procrastinate and I'll be playing games all day long because I know that the money that I'm working for isn't really something that I need. So instead, I'm focusing on finding a greater purpose for my work. So creating content like this is actually helpful because it's not just about making money from content, but it's also about a mission. So my goal is to help my friends and people like you achieve financial freedom so that we can all enjoy this great time together. Being able to live your life independent of a full-time job, to maximize your own creativity, to do things that you want to do on your own schedule. So whether it is being a piece of crap all day long or creating a masterpiece that you probably wouldn't do because you had a full-time job, it's the freedom that allows you to have this creativity. And I think that's just a beautiful thing. So creating videos like this one gives me something meaningful to work towards besides just a paycheck. Letting go of money as the main goal felt very freeing. But it also got me thinking about something else. And that is that experiences are way more valuable than just having things. I remember watching a YouTube video where a guy talked about this exact same idea. So he and his wife at one point didn't have too much money and they had to make a choice. Did they want to go to a nice honeymoon in Greece where they get to walk on the beach and create lasting memories, or should they save that money and then buy a couch for their living room instead? So the guy was thinking, well, a couch is useful. You pay for it and you can use it every single day, but spending all that money for a few day vacation honeymoon, now that seems like a waste because you're only gonna experience it for a few days and then it's gone forever. So of course, because the wife really wanted the honeymoon, they end up going on the vacation instead. And later on the line, they save money and bought a couch. But the funny thing is, years down the road, this guy completely forgot about what couch he ended up buying. But he never forgot that honeymoon that he went on with his wife in Greece. That's actually really impactful. And I totally get that now. These experiences that we're having have such a huge lasting impact on your life. And having physical things just cannot match that experience. So these past few years of traveling for us have been incredible. My wife and I have been able to learn new languages in different countries as adults. And we've been to explore countries that we've never been to and soak in all the different cultures. We even had a chance to attend the Summer Olympics in Paris, which is something that not a lot of people get to do in their whole lifetimes. So being a part of that event with people from all over the world was something that I'll never forget. And that's why I believe that investing in experiences will give you memories that will stick with you for the rest of your life. So looking back, these 2 years of early retirement taught me that real wealth isn't just about money. It's about spending time with the people you care about, using your time wisely, staying healthy, and making memories that last. Money is important, but these things are what make life rich. And if you guys are working towards financial freedom, keep your eye on these bigger things too. Build the life that you want and remember what really matters. You got this. And if you guys are interested in learning how to become financially free in the first place, you definitely want to check out this video over here. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.